Hey y'all, subscribe to my channel. I'm the only one covering the OTC and pink sheet markets exclusively. Okay, you guys, today I'm doing a kind of a different video. Still, obviously, this is about OTC pink sheet companies and red flags to look out for, the scams that they do, basically, or ways to make money off a stock that doesn't really have any actual value. So let's get into it. And I'm going to be using PHI Group Incorporated as going over their recent 10Q and discussing that, and not saying that they are engaging in these activities, not saying that at all. So, but I'm using some of their information to highlight how you can make scams in the OTC market. So, okay, let's get into their financial results here. Net assets, or the current assets, they had a huge jump in net assets, and you wonder, because, some of these numbers look really good, but they cover over things that are in the background that aren't actually happening. So, and let's take a look at how Wall Street reacted to their results. They dropped 10% yesterday. So, though some of these numbers look really good, Wall Street knows how to read this crap. So, but the general public doesn't. So when these, internet stocks become popular, sometimes it's as a result or as a deficit of the general public. So that's why I'm doing this video. So you see they had a huge jump from, about 1 million to 5.5 million in total assets. And that is largely due to two things. One is marketable securities. Okay, you guys, what is marketable securities? Well, they are securities that can be easily sold. So on a corporation's balance sheet, they are assets that can be readily converted into cash. For example, government security, bankers' acceptances, and commercial paper. Okay, now why that's relevant is because those marketable securities are sometimes in the form of paid-in capital, and I'm going to explain that in a little bit, and why why generally paid-in capital can be an area of scamming. So anyway, so we keep going down here. So marketable securities, that's great. So that that is a positive side, but again, Wall Street reacted quite negatively to all this, and let's go over why. Their liabilities remain basically the same, but the shareholder deficit, okay, you guys, that jumped from 1 million to 5.5 million. Now, again, what is shareholder deficit from? Well, sometimes that can be from the results of paid-in capital. Let's go over that. The paid-in capital is the full amount of cash or other assets that shareholders have given a company in exchange for stock. So, this is how some of these work. So if I'm the CEO and owner of company A, I can loan or give company A $500,000 in exchange for stock. Now, that won't be par value, it'll be at a discount rate. So I can, and generally there's just a short holding period, if at all, so I can turn around and sell that stock and actually make more money than I would have if I just had, the 500,000. So that's one of the easiest and most, or not easiest, but is generally one of the most the common ways that the public gets scammed by a company, especially if that company doesn't have any sales. And let's take a look at PHI Group. Okay, so one of the punishing things is that they had a huge drop off, or not huge, they never had really any significant sales, but the sales report, for this is $5,000, and you see their net revenues have been declining over time, and they have a huge, net loss, $9 million for 3 months, ending December 31st. Yeah, that's horrible. Operating for 2021, the net loss from operations $16 million, over $550,000 the year before. Okay, well, what is PHI Group? Let's go over their website, and this will help explain this whole, what I'm trying to talk about today. So again, I'm not trying to focus on them. I'm not saying that they're doing this crap, but okay. Home, investors, the different, about us, it's our businesses. I mean, this website, first of all, is incomplete. They have scope of all these different businesses that they're involved in, energy, service, special things, but they have, no income. They have no revenues. And you take a look at their address here at 2323 Main Street in Irvine. That it's just basically a huge warehouse. Now, there's no way that you're going to go to there and PHI Group is going to be blasted all over the warehouse, because there's going to be a million companies in there. So they're renting a mailbox, basically, my guess. But they have a lot of management. They have board of directors. They have a lot of people involved in the company. But $5,000 over the last 3 months. Okay. Anyway, so I hope this was, of benefit for, just people in general. And I wanted to point out some of the red flags to look for in these companies. And one of the major red flags is no revenue. It's okay to have no revenue if you're developing product and you have patents and you're trying to market those patents or doing stuff, right? But they have a business that covers everything. They got 10 people working there and they got no revenue. The dog. This information is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and none of the content here should be construed as financial advice or an offer or solicitation for securities.